So getting to our rear upper strut bearing, it's up in there. So what we got to do is we got to take this coil spring, this whole strut, or coilover assembly as they call it. We have to take that whole thing out. To do that, there's two 10mm bolts up here. I'm gonna undo those, and there's one on the inside. It's a 13mm nut, and it's right here. So we're gonna undo it from there, just like that, and then it will be all detached at the top. And there's one, I think 19mm nut we have to undo here. That will undo this whole assembly here. So then the whole strut will be free. Or coilover, whatever. So I've taken out all the bolts and the one on the inside too in the trunk. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, to get that one in the trunk, it's going to be covered by all your friggin' carpet crap. So it would have looked something like this. So you just get out the carpet. It's that friggin' easy. And then it's up there in the top of the strut tower. So I have all those bolts undone, and I've undone the one at the bottom. So this whole assembly should come out nicely. It's really hard doing this with one hand. Alright. Here we go. So there it is. So I'm going to show you the part that's gone on it, guys. You're going to want to remove this dust cap. It's that easy. And you can see how that upper strut mount is all torn. That's what's giving us the clunking up the top. See, it's torn there too. So when these come back and hit each other, they make that clunking sound, like a dull clunking sound. So what we're gonna do is, I have my spring compressors here. You can get these anywhere in the auto parts store. These are gonna go on like this. You're going to put on the lowermost and the uppermost, and we're going to tighten them. You're going to have to do them on both sides, right? So you got another one with the kit. So, and you want to compress that so that there's no load of the spring on the upper strut mount. And then we can undo this bolt here once it's all compressed. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so I got that nut off. It is the only time where an impact actually came in handy, because the problem is this shaft spins, right? It's a strut. It's got a rod with like a kind of like a piston. It's in this section, so I mean you can spin that shaft around. So having the impact, just kind of like gives it enough of a jolt to undo it. But I'm sure if you had like a breaker bar, got this ready to show you like this, and you put like a cheater bar on it to extend it and hit the cheater bar really hard, that it would be able to just crack it off. Anyways, now we can remove this piece of shit. Yeah. See? I'm gonna go get the new one. Okay, so I got the new one on. Now I'm gonna start undoing the spring compressors, and I'm going to do them, yeah, you know that you have to do them a little bit on one side and a little bit on the other, a little bit on one side, so they don't bind. And you're going to want to make sure your spring seats nicely. See, there's a groove that it goes in up here. It's pretty straightforward. Try and get it as close as possible. You see how the bolt was on that side when it went in, so I'm going to spin this a little bit before I start undoing the spring, or else it's going to be really hard to turn in a line when I put it back in. So just spin it like that. See, because if it was the other way around, I'd have to fight the spring to spin it on the spring to go in the right way. Alright, so I'm going to get that thing in there. Okay, so there it is. I'm just going to tighten up all the stuff and then I'll take another snap of it. And lastly, you put on the tire. And I'm going to lower the vehicle so I can lift the whole front of the car so I can do the wheel bearings.